Alrighty, we are back. That didn't take very long, did it? So it's me, SuperSonic again, and this time we are playing the sequel, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, on the same console, Sega Genesis. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Alright, we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, first off, we're going to be spin dashing quite a bit in this game, since that's the main mechanic of Sonic 2, and which is also the main movement of the speedrun itself. And of course we do have Tails hanging around with us as well. He will be pretty useful for a couple of tricks later in the run, which Sonic cannot do by himself. And pretty much this same thing applies with Sonic 1, where we time this with in-game time. So as you can see here, anytime we get under 30 seconds, we do get a 50,000 point time bonus, and that counts down to about 6 seconds. But since we also have continues introduced, after getting 10,000 points in the main total, it adds up a couple more seconds. Anyways, heading into Emerald 2, we're going to go ahead and get this monkey jump to save a little bit of time, not bouncing off the spring. And we're going to be taking this bottom route here. And this is where we're going to have Tails do our bidding, in a sense. Okay, we're going to roll into Robotnik. We only got 3 hits there, so we're going to have to do some shenanigans to get the remainder. There we go. I should finish this in like... Oh, okay, Tails actually got the capsule for us. And that is Emerald Hill. Now, as you can see, I am balancing on the button of the capsule. So about a year ago, I had the opportunity to play this at IGN, and Ben Schwartz, who was the voice of the Sonic from the Sonic movie, he was there too, and we played Sonic 2, and he told me to balance on the capsule after each level. So ever since that video launched, I've been doing that ever since that day. So that was Ben Schwartz on that. Now, Chemical Plant, which is probably my favorite set of zones. They're pretty short as well. In this first act, we finished it in 24. We unfortunately had a bit of a bonk there, trying to head into the corridor. But of course, we got some more 50,000 point bonus. Now, for Act 2, we are going to manipulate Tails to have him open a door for us, in which we normally cannot go into. We're going to do a 3-tap spin dash. We're going to roll down this hill, and this door magically opens because we are using Tails pretty much as, you know, a scapegoat to open a door. But we pretty much skipped a pretty big chunk of the level. Now we're going to head into the boss fight here. Whoops. Didn't mean to bounce off that spring there, but no big deal. And with precise timing, we're able to just bounce on Robotnik 8 times until he's out of there. And Tails just kind of plummets into his own doom, but he comes back infinitely, so Tails is fine. So now we are done with Chemical Plant. Coming up next is Aquatic Ruin, which we got more water levels to deal with, but we won't be in the water very much. So first off, I'm gonna do a spin dash to avoid that pillar. Oh, whoops. I'm gonna try to jump up onto this loop here. And we do a 9-tap spin dash to manipulate subpixels to not have us bounce on that launcher. We're gonna get these speed shoes here, and we're gonna do a bit of a jump to get up on this upper route and finish the stage. And now Act 2 is coming up. There is a trick called Coin Flip. I'm going to try to take an upper route without having to traverse into the water for very long. So the way this works, we're going to intentionally take damage from the arrows. And then we're going to do a 1-tap spin dash. And hopefully the launcher will send us up into an upper level. So let's see if we can get that. And of course, for whatever reason, when we bounce off the spring and we're rolling, we get a lot faster in the water. And there we go. We got the coin flip strat. And we pretty much avoided a lot of the water section. And we're heading into the boss fight. Alright, I was a little too early on that. So there's actually a frame perfect hit you can go for. Right as Robotnik is about to slam the mallet down onto the pillar, if you hit him just right, he would actually shoot off to the right side of the screen without exploding. However, when we hit the capsule, the animals will look like they blew up. But we didn't quite get that since we were a little too early on that hit. But it does save a couple seconds. Alright, Casino Night, which is probably my least favorite stage in the speedrun, but casually it is a lot of fun since there are slot machines you can use to gamble. Which, ironically, there is a gambling percent category for this game. So you can try to get 999 rings before time expires. Alright, we actually got the flipper clip there. That actually works 50-50, so you'll either get it or you won't get it. And now heading into Act 2, we're going to try to go for some flipper clips as well. The hot dogs, yeah. Yeah, those bumpers, they look like hot dogs. So it's like, the green is like the relish, the yellow is the mustard, and the red is the ketchup. And then it just goes away after that. Okay, so we're gonna grab a couple of these speed shoes here. We're gonna bounce off this bumper. Didn't quite get a good bounce, so you have to wait on it a little bit. Alright, we're gonna try to attempt this flipper clip here. Ah, almost got it. So we pretty much do pause buffering there to increase Sonic's vertical speed. And he's able to object phase through various objects, so whether it's like the flippers or platforms, what have you. We did get that second one though, so that's pretty good. At least we got 1 out of 2. Not bad. Now we got the boss fight. We're gonna pretty much bounce on him. And I'm also holding the jump button just slightly to keep the bounce going. And just like that, we're out of Casino Night 2. And for RTA strats, we're just gonna look up to let the animals despawn a lot faster. It doesn't really do anything for in-game time, but for RTA purposes, we do that. Alright, coming up next, we got Hilltop, or as I like to call it, Killtop, because it does kill a lot of runs. Gonna traverse through here, and we're gonna try to go for our first glitch. You get this jump here. Nope, jumped a little too late. It is actually possible to avoid this launcher here, or seesaw. Now for the glitch, we're gonna go ahead and let this zipline thingy. I was trying to think of what it's called exactly, but I couldn't think about it. But we pretty much take damage intentionally, go through the lava, and it's gonna pretty much allow us to skip a pretty decent chunk of the level. And just like that, we're done with Act 1. So Act 2 is coming up. Act 2 is pretty much based on cycles. We're going to do our best to get this cycle here. So right at the start, we do a 3-tap spin dash to jump at the tiny bump at the start, which is pretty hard to see at first, but we did get that jump. We're going to see if we can carry on into the cycle here. I'm going to set the spin dash. Okay, we just caught it. That does save a good chunk of time there. I'd say like roughly 4 to 5 seconds maybe. Alright, then we're gonna pretty much... Oh wow. I was gonna get hit by the Loch Ness monster there. Or Lapras. I mean, it kind of looks like Lapras, but a very purple Lapras. Okay, for the boss fight, we're just gonna roll. And hopefully Tails doesn't hit him, because if Tails ends up getting a hit, we would phase right through and hit the lava. So thankfully Tails was not a nuisance there. And we're done with Hilltop. Coming up next is Mystic Cave, which is probably my favorite set in this run, along with Chemical Plant. We got some banger music coming up. Oh, whoops. Accidentally jumped a little too early there, no big deal. Let's see if we can get this jump. Nope. It ate my input when I was trying to go for the jump there. That's alright. Oh, wow. I didn't think the Firefly was going to activate right away. Okay, we do grab the invincibility, because we're going to jump on these spikes here and roll right through that gap. So that'll be saving a little bit of time without having to go through like the intended route. All right. Act 2 coming up. Gonna try to grab this lever really quickly. There we go. And then we're gonna head up this way. Gonna be utilizing the spin dash quite a bit here. Okay, then we're gonna take this upper route. And a lot of these zones are pretty big in terms of level design. But with these routes that we're taking, it doesn't really feel like it's very long. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do a 6-tap spin dash there. Alright, now there's going to be these stalactites falling from the ceiling. They're pure RNG. Unfortunately, we got hit by them, but we're pretty much inside Robotnik's hitbox while we're hitting him, and the drills weren't damaging us. So the way to get the quick kill there is if none of the stalactites fell on me, I could pretty much stay in the middle and get a couple hits and then set up a spin dash, and while Robotnik is moving the drill arms from like the top to the left, you'll be able to stay in that position and not get damaged. So now we got Oil Ocean, which is probably one of the harder stages in the run. We're gonna be taking this bottom route through the oil here. And I hope we don't sink all the way to the bottom. Oh. Ah, we got caught by the fan there. That's okay. Gonna take it a little safe. Keep on trekking through this part. Okay, we're gonna do some full jumps here, and then we should be able to avoid this fan. And we're at the end of the stage. Alright, so Act 2, we're going to be going for a zip that'll take us directly to the boss fight. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to pretty much mess up Sonic's gravity. And we're going to make him into pseudo SuperSonic. We're going to go through this launcher, get hit intentionally, go through this launcher here. And now we have this wonky physics. And we're able to jump higher, we're moving quite strangely, and we're able to go inside walls and do a level wrap here. So level wraps are the horizontal zips, and then vertical wraps are the vertical zips, or they call it screen wraps. Now we didn't quite get a good jump there on Robotnik, so this will be a 2-cycle. It is actually possible to get a 1-cycle kill there, but I moved too far to the left, so I wasn't able to get any good hits then. And also this little laser beam here, it looks like there's a bunch of Pokeballs attached to it. Okay, so we had a 5-3 cycle. Alright. So now we're heading into Metropolis Zone, which is the first and only zone to have 3 acts. So the first act, we're going to try to go for a strat, but if I don't get it, we'll just continue on with the level normally. Let's see if we can skip a good chunk of it. And we're going to need Tails for this too. Okay, so he's gonna help us traverse through here. We just gotta make sure Tails follows us for this trick coming up. Gonna do some pause buffering as well. Ah, I jumped too high. So there's actually a mini zip you can do that skips this entire section that I'm gonna go through right now. You know what, we're gonna wait for Tails to come back. We're gonna use him to run up on this bolt here and stop spin dashing. There we go. Now we can spin dash into it. And with Tails we get more speed. Okay, stop jumping. There we go. So yeah, if we did the zip correctly, we would have landed right here, which would have saved at least 15-20 seconds or so. Okay, now we're gonna do a screen wrap here. Phase inside the bolt and clip into the ground. And we're pretty much at the end of the stage here. Alright, for Act 2, we are going to go for a level wrap. And we're going to see if we can beat this level in under 20 seconds. So first thing, get a 6-tap spin dash, get hit intentionally. Then we're going to go inside this lava here. Now we're going to go inside a wall. We're going to navigate through, and it's going to take us to the end of the level. And for an added bonus, we're just going to hold left a little bit and get a glitch signpost. You can actually finish this stage in 13 seconds, but the IL strat is a bit finicky. So this is actually the safer way to get the zip. And still get a pretty good time on it too. You can actually get 15 as well if you do like a spin dash into the wall. But we didn't have to do that. Now Act 3, this one's a bit of a doozy here. So we're gonna use Tails to get this platform to drop down. And a lot of times it doesn't quite work first try. But we need Sonic to be on his tippy toes. Alright, we got it. So pretty much we're looking at Sonic's feet to land inside the ground. And there's like these two bolts that we use as a visual cue. And if we set up the zip correctly, there are 3 different frames that will work. The one frame that I got was, I think it was the first frame. So we're able to get through just fine. And now this is probably the most annoying boss fight. We want to try to keep him towards the bottom. So we're going to get the roll and the last hit. Fortunately, we were able to finish this in under a minute, despite getting the zips second try. So now we got Sky Chase, which is a 2-minute and 6-second auto-scroller. It is possible to get 2 minutes and 5 seconds with a very precise spin dash. But for the time being, we're just gonna stand up here and do nothing for 40 seconds. So if you got anything, if you wanna plug anything, feel free to do that. Trying to get our host here. I think he's muted for now. That's alright. But yeah, you can pretty much stand on that corner and do nothing. But yeah, as far as Sky Chase itself goes, if you end up dying, there are no checkpoints on this stage. So if you end up dying around here, you go straight back to the beginning. And I am playing on the Sonic Classics compilation cart. So you kind of see that playing looks a little weird. If you do that on the original cartridge, you can actually fall off and die. Anyways, we are almost at the end of the stage here. we're just gonna stay on the right side of the screen for the remainder. Now coming up next, we got Wing Fortress, which is a pretty difficult stage. And we are gonna do some shenanigans as well. Alright, first things first. We're gonna hit this chicken. And this will pretty much mess around with the game's memory, which will be used for the boss fight. And we're gonna set up for a slope glitch here, which only works on this compilation cart. It does not work on the original. We're gonna take this route up here. We're gonna set up slope glitch again on the zip line. Now we're gonna head into the boss fight. And we're gonna stand right here, and if we did it correctly, we should be able to spin dash inside. And that's the boss fight, and the stage. And of course we get this glorious sprite, which we call Look Up. Now we got about 40 seconds here until we get to the final stage, which is gonna be a boss gauntlet. So the final fight, we're going to be fighting SuperSonic and Death Egg Robot, and we're not going to have any rings for this fight. Let's see how this goes. And it is also possible to soft lock or hard lock against SuperSonic. And for whatever reason, like somehow Sonic can breathe in space, so that's pretty neat too. And we got black flames too. Alright, here we go. Death Egg Zone. We're going to set up a spin dash right here. We're going to get 4 quick hits. And we're going to get a little bit higher on those bounces so we don't get a soft lock there. Alright, now we got Death Egg Robot coming up. This guy can be quite a doozy. I'm gonna focus on this really quick. Alright, we got 10 hits. We got 2 more remaining. 11 and 12. And gonna spin dash on out of there, and that is time. 22:37. That is actually a pretty decent run. Pretty happy with how that turned out. So yeah, that is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Beat the game category with Sonic and Tails. Got to see some glitches, also got to see some, you know, just a lot of crazy shenanigans happening. So anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Huge thank you to SpeedGaming for allowing me to showcase 2 Sonic games back to back. And enjoy the rest of the marathon, everyone. That's all for me.